Good morning student, I Purnima welcome you to my class of English, and today I am going to revise the poem On Killing a Tree by Give Patel. Okay, so children, first of all I would like to write the name of the poet. It is Give Patel. Now Give Patel. Now we'll be telling you something about the poet. Give Patel was an Indian poet and playwright. Patel is also practicing doctor. He used to practice his children. He was a doctor. He used to practice it. He was born in Mumbai in 1940. He completed all his education from Mumbai only. His but at the same time, when he was the children practicing, he had got developed this hobby to write the poetry also. And his first collection of poetry was entitled Poem and was launched by Nizam Ezekiel in 1966. Nizam Ezekiel was himself was a great poet. So those poems, they was launched by Nizam Ezekiel in 1966. How do you withstand body and mirroring? Body and mirroring are some of his famous collections. He also wrote famous plays like Princess Savaska and Mr. Behram. So these three plays were written by him: Princess Savaska and Mr. Behram. So children, he was both the poet and he was the writer. He conducted a poetry workshop in Rishi Valley School for more than a decade. He also edited a collection of poetry which was published in 2006. So now children, On Killing a Tree is a beautiful poem, and it is related by tree, that why people are killing it. Not only why but how people are killing it. Though children, he had described in this poem that how to kill a tree properly, but he was against the idea of killing the tree. So in this poem there is a beautifully ironic statement. So first of all children, you should know what is a ironic statement. This is a important word, ironic statement. That means children, the statement which are contradicted with each other, which are there is a contrast between each other. Like children, in the poem, the title of the poem is On Killing a Tree, but directly and indirectly he had mentioned in the poem that we should not kill the tree because it is very useful to us. So directly and indirectly, what he had done, his satirical remark or a beautiful ironic statement is written by the poet about how to kill a tree. Actually, he means its opposite. He had guided how to kill a tree, but at the same time, he doesn't want anybody to kill the tree. So in this poem, children, the poet told he wanted to kill a tree. Actually, he means its opposite. He taunts how trees are being killed, but they should not be killed. He further says that a tree is hard to kill with the knife. The tree takes years to grow from the earth. He says that to kill a tree, its root must be pulled out entirely from the soil. This poem also conveys a message that the trees are our lifeline, so they must not be killed. He instructs how a tree is killed. He gives out the message that trees are something pious and like human being. He conveys that the tree is very deep rooted and cannot be wiped out easily. He indicates that compare it with the evil which is also deep rooted in the surrounding and cannot be uprooted so easily. So he is comparing this with the children evil which is presented in the society and which cannot be uprooted, which cannot be taken out from that society easily, and cannot be uprooted so easily without changing the environment. So he is telling about both the tree and the evil which is present in the society. Now, children, let's discuss about the theme of the poet which writer want to tell. The poet consider the tree as a living organism. According to the poet, it has the right to live like any other creature. So, according to the poet, the tree also have a right to live like any other creature. But the man is killing it with utmost cruelty. So, children, the man is killing it with utmost cruelty, um, callousness. This poem indirectly gives out a strong idea that trees are our lifeline, so they must not be killed. The poet instructs how a tree is killed, but actually he means its opposite. Implies that a person shall be a murderer if he kills it this way. He says that a knife will not do harm to a tree. At last, poet conveys that if the tree is killed, it must be uprooted completely. On stating this, the poet taunts the people cutting the tree. That means he actually doesn't want that the tree should be killed. The message in the end is that trees are something pious and like human being. They are very valuable and precious to us as they are very much useful to us. Many things we get from the tree like fruits, vegetables, medicines, rubber, silk, so many things. Warp silkworm is there. uh, indirectly we get from the tree only wood for the furniture, wood for the fuel, fodder, so many things we get from the tree. So they are so precious and they are so valuable that it is difficult to cut. It must not be cut, and moreover children, it gives oxygen, due to which we all human beings are living in this earth. So the poet also conveys that the tree is deep rooted and cannot be removed easily. He compared it with the evils which he thinks are deep rooted and cannot be removed easily. Now I will be discussing the main points of the poem before discussing of the explaining the poem. So children, a tree takes a long time for its growth. After the years of struggle, the tree rises out of the earth and bring leaves. The well-grown up trees cannot be cut by the simple jab of knife. The trees are cut roughly by striking heavy blows. The poet compares trees with the human body. The tremendous effort is required to uproot a tree. When a tree is uprooted, its life drains away, it goes limp and finally meets its end. So, this is the children, all the main points of the poem we have discussed. Now, I will be reading the poem and I will be doing the explanation of the poem. So, I'm going to read the poem now. It takes much time to kill a tree. Not a simple chap of the knife will do it. It has grown slowly, consuming the earth, rising out of it, feeding upon its crust, absorbing years of sunlight, air, water, and out of its leprous hide, sprouting leaves. So, stanza 2. So hack and chop, but this alone won't do it. Not so much pain will do it. The bleeding bark will heal, and from close to the ground will rise curled green twigs, miniature boughs, which, if unchecked, will expand again to firmer size. Stanza 3. The uproot is to be pulled out of the anchoring earth. It is to be rooted tight and pulled out, snapped out, or pulled out entirely, out from the earth cave, and the strength of the tree exposed, the source white and wet, the most sensitive hidden for years inside the earth. So, and stranger fourth is also there. Then the matter of scorching and choking in sun and air, browning, hardening, twisting, withering, and then it is done. So children, this I have read the poem. Now I will be telling you about the explanation of the poem will be there, and I will be writing some difficult word meaning. Okay, so you people note it down somewhere. Okay, so first word is jab. To hit something forcibly. Children, jab, to jab with a knife, that means to hit something, somebody or something force with a full force. Then consuming, using or taking it. Consuming means using or taking it. Then crust, upper layer of earth. Upper layer of earth. Upper layer of earth. And then absorb, hide, out of view. Sprout is to produce leaves. To produce leaves. It takes much time to kill a tree. Now the poem is telling it takes a lot of time to kill a tree. The tree are not easy to kill. Not a simple jab of the knife will do it. If you will kill the tree with a knife with a full force, it won't be able to die. It won't be, we cannot kill it. You won't be able to kill it. It has grown slowly, consuming the earth. Now children, the growth of the tree is very slow. From the root it becomes tree. It takes a lot of very so long to grow from a small plant to a tree. It takes a long time. So it has grown slowly, consuming. It is children taking in the minerals and the food from the earth, and then it takes a long time to grow. Rising out of it. Rising means it is from the earth. It is rising from the soil of the earth, feeding upon its crust. Crust is upper layer of the earth. So the tree is what it is doing. It is feeding from the crust, from the upper layer, from the soil of the earth. Absorbing years of sunlight. Absorbing years of sunlight. Air, water, and out of its leprous height. And children, it is a browning food from the soil of the earth. It is children, it is absorbing years of it is absorbing sunlight from years. It is the help of the air and water from the soil, and out of its leprous hide. Okay, and children, the branch of the tree, it looks like as if it is a leprosy patient, but when it grows, it becomes all right, or they say uniformity in the branches, hides, and out of its leprous hide is sprouting leaves. Sprouting means to produce leaf. It produces leaves. So hack and chop, but this alone won't do it. Not so much pain will do it. The bleeding bark will heal, and from close to the ground will rise curled green twigs, miniature boughs, which if unchecked will expand again to former size. So hack and chop, but this alone won't do it. Not so much pain will do it. The bleeding bark will head, and from close to the ground will rise curled green twigs, miniature boughs, which if unchecked will expand again in former size. So children, the first paragraph, what does a tree absorb? It absorbs sunlight, air and water. What does it consume? It consumes the earth or the soil and the minerals from the earth. Does it take much time to kill a tree? Yes children, it takes a lot of time to kill a tree fully. Uh, then why has the hide been called leprous? The hide of the tree has been called leprous because of its ugly and disease appearance. Okay. So now children, I am going to discuss the second lesson, second stanza with you people. So first I would like to write the word meaning. This actually have written: jab to hit something forcefully, consuming, using or taking it, grasp upper layer of earth, absorb to take something or slowly, sprout to produce leaves. Now the word meaning of the second stanza. You can note it down if you want. So hack is cut, hack is cut, chop, cut into pieces, we chop the vegetables, we chop the vegetables, we chop the meat. Okay, then bark, hard outer covering of the tree, heel, so hack is cut, chop is cut into pieces, bark, hard outer covering of the tree, heel to become well, close is near, expand to increase in size. Okay. To hack and chop, but this alone won't do it. Not so much pain will do it. The bleeding work will heal, and from close to the ground will rise curled green twigs. Miniature bow, which if unchecked will expand again to farmer size. Okay. Now children, a poet is telling that even if you will cut the tree, if you will jab it with a knife, or if you will cut the tree, then also it won't be killed, it won't die. So hack and chop, but this alone won't do it. So if you will hack it, that is hack means if you will cut the tree, or if you will chop into pieces, then also the tree will not die. The bleeding bark will heal. Children, the bark which is bleeding, I think you know that the tree also bleed, the blood also flow from their body, but that blood is transparent, so we cannot see it. So children, the wounded bark and the bleeding bark will heal. Heal means it will become well again, it will become all right. And from close to the ground will rise curled green twigs. Again children, green twigs will rise, from which will be closer from the to the ground. Miniature bow. Miniature is very small bow will expand, which if unchecked will expand again. And children, that bow will increase in size. It will also grow and to former size. Okay, former is children like early, like the tree which was there at earliest, that type of former size we will be saying again of the tree. So what alone will not be sufficient to kill a tree? The hacking and chopping alone will not be sufficient to kill a tree. That what will expand again, children, the tree will expand again. Will the bleeding bark never heal? No, it will be healed properly soon. Then what will arise from close to the ground? Curl green twigs will arise from close to the ground. Now, stanza 3. No, the root is to be pulled out of the anchoring earth. It is to be robbed, tied and pulled out, snapped out or pulled out entirely or from the earth cave, and the strength of the tree exposed, the source wide and wet, the most sensitive hidden for years inside the earth. So here the writer is telling now that in this stanza he is telling how to kill the tree. So now some new words again will be there. Okay, so children, the new words are there like pull. Pull means take out. Pull is to take out. Then anchor is hold. Entirely is completely. Expose is to disclose. Then sensitive is delicate. Okay, so here the writer is telling the exact way to kill a tree. So no, the root is to be pulled out. Now if you really want to kill a tree, children, you have to pull out, to take out its root. Okay, the root will be pulled out from the ground, out of the anchoring earth. The earth which was holding it, it should be taken out from the earth completely. It is to be roped, tied and pulled out. Now children, it is not easy to pull a tree. It is not a grass or a small plant so that you can uproot it. So children, you have, that tree should be tied with a rope. Children, then many people should pull it and snapped out or pulled out entirely. Then children, only it will be pulled out from the ground, out from the earth cave. Now children, the cave, that means the root is so deep down. If you will pull a small children, ditch will be there, which is known as earth cave. So it will be pulled entirely from the earth cave, not partially but entirely. You have to pull out from the earth cave, and the strength of the tree exposed. And children, the tree which we think is very strong, then the strength will be exposed to us. The sources white and wet. Okay, the sources here is white and wet, and the most sensitive hidden for years inside the earth. Children, the most sensitive part of the tree were roots which were hidden from the earth, and so today they also they came from the ground. Now the tree is completely dead. So what alone now children, here what should be done to kill a tree? Roots can be pulled out to kill a tree. How does the earth protect the tree? The earth protects the tree by giving its life and allowing its stem to strength underneath. What is white and wet? The stem is white and wet. Why is anchoring used for the earth? The earth anchors the roots in its soil and balancing the tree. Okay, so children, this is the third stanza we have completed, and now the fourth one. Then the matter of scorching and choking, its sun and air, browning, hardening, twisting, withering, and then it is done. Okay, so now the fourth stanza, word meaning of the fourth stanza. Scorching is to burn slightly. To burn slightly, and choking is block. Block, breathe. Hardening is to become hard, and wither is to become weak. Okay, so this is scorching to burn, choking to block, breathe, hardening to become hard, wither to become weak. All right, so now the explanation, children. Then the matter of scorching, children, after pulling the tree, children, then the trees are kept in the sunlight and it burns with the sunlight. That means now it is dying step by step. And choking, and children, now the tree cannot breathe as it is children, cannot breathe. It is taken, the roots are taken out from the ground, so it is dying slowly. In sun and air, browning, hardening. Now children, the trees are kept like that on the ground, and in the sun it is becoming hard, it is becoming brown, it is twisting, that is it is turning, the branches are turning, the leaves are getting withered. Withered means to become weak. Okay, and then it is done, and then children, finally the tree dies. So what happened to tree after withering? It dies after withering. It dries. Withering means dry. Then what are the processes that ultimately lead to the death of a tree, children? Scorching, choking, hardening, twisting, and withering are some of the processes that led to the death of the tree. Now, what is the meaning of bleeding bark? What makes it bleed? Bleeding bark means the twigs which are cut mercilessly. They have a liquid substance. If any part of a human body is cut, it starts bleeding. In the same way, tree also bleed. Okay, the human being acts makes it bleed. Okay, now children, this was the last part of the lesson. So children, see, the poet doesn't, in fact, he doesn't want that the people should kill the tree. In spite of telling the whole process, in spite of telling the whole process, that how the trees were killed, how we should kill the tree. We should not jab it or cut it or chop it. Okay, we should, the roots should be pulled out, and then children, you can see, after when the roots are pulled out, then the trees are fully killed. Their process through which it gets fully killed. What are the process? Chalking, scorching, hardening, twisting, okay, and withering are some of the process through which the trees are killed. And with this, children, I conclude my video here. Thank you and have a nice day ahead.